Dallas is 29. This is such a Dallas draft. Not necessarily a bad way, but they reached on most of their picks, and they were needs. Mazzie Smith is not someone we really loved. His strength at the combine didn't show as much on film. He can develop into a very decent player, and that's why it's not a horrible reach, but we had him as a second rounder. Luke Schoonmaker was a little more puzzling. We don't know that he's any better than Jake Ferguson, so we're not quite sure what the thought is there. It's not, again, tight end could have been a need, but I shocked it wasn't Darnell Washington, knowing Jerry Jones. DeMarvion Overshone is a fine pick, right?
Yeah, Overshone was a good pick, and just to rewind to the tight ends, like everyone talks about Ferguson, but like Hendershot's kind of the forgotten man. Like he wasn't much of a blocker for them last year, but he did a lot of the receiving production amongst him and Ferguson. And like Zach said, like if they did want to consider tight end a need, why are you not going for the freak? Like,
Yeah, like Schoonmaker is a fine guy, but we didn't see him as being anything more than a good tight end too. So the second round just felt a round early for him. And again, this is like, as we said, none of these classes except for the Chargers are all that bad. It's just it felt like Dallas pulled the gun early, as Jerry Jones does. And this isn't, it works out for the most part, so it's not a horrible knock. But and edge, they got another edge rusher that's probably useful for them. The big win on day 3 for them is Deuce Vaughn. He shouldn't have been there. We know he's undersized. 5'5" is unprecedented, but he plays so much bigger than this, and he should stick the roster. His dad has got to make the call. It was a great, great story.
yeah, the one thing about Dallas's class is we talked about this multiple times earlier today is that they're nailing the UDFA signings,
Oh yeah, for
especially in
sure.
comparison to their draft class. Like they picked up the North Dakota State back Hunter Lupke, and then the one that I like the most, they got Florida A&M linebacker, edge tweener Isaiah Land. Like if you want a backup specifically for your superstar Micah Parsons, that's about as clear cut as it gets.
Yeah, like Dallas is having almost in a good way a better UDFA process than a draft.